If one keyword were used to describe 2025, dramatic upheaval would be well-deserved. From the tariff storm of Trump 2 to the unending flames of geopolitical conflict, this annual list condenses the major events of each month in 2025, taking you on a quick review of the year as you get ready to welcome 2026. January. Severe wildfires in Los Angeles burned more than 150 square kilometers in total, killing 28 people and damaging or destroying over 16,000 buildings. At one point, 180,000 residents were forced to evacuate. It was described as the most serious natural disaster in Los Angeles history. February. At the end of February, Zelensky traveled to Washington to discuss an agreement with the United States to jointly develop Ukraine's natural resources in exchange for aid. However, at a public press conference, Zelensky clashed fiercely with Trump and Vice President Vance. Both sides blamed each other over the war, manpower shortages, and diplomatic approaches, and the scene spun out of control. March. A powerful earthquake struck Myanmar on March 28, killing more than 3,700 people. Many were left without food, water, or shelter. This magnitude 7 quake was one of the strongest the country had experienced in nearly a century. Hospitals and other buildings collapsed, entire communities were flattened, and even neighboring Thailand saw buildings fall. April. In early April, Trump announced the imposition of reciprocal tariffs on multiple countries' goods, including a 25% tariff on foreign cars and an increase on Chinese products to 104% and 125%, escalating the global trade war. The EU, Canada, Mexico, China, and others stated they would retaliate or tighten restrictions. The move shook markets, sending global stock markets sharply lower and UK-US long-term bond yields surging. May. India and Pakistan exchanged fire in the Kashmir region. Pakistan claimed to have shot down 5 Indian fighter jets and reported 6 Pakistani casualties. India denied the claim and said it had bombed 9 terrorist infrastructure sites in Pakistan. 4 days later, Trump announced a successful mediation, with India and Pakistan agreeing to an immediate and comprehensive ceasefire. June. Protests erupted in Los Angeles against immigration raids. Citing national security, Trump deployed the National Guard to suppress the protests and station patrols in the area. A curfew was imposed in Los Angeles, and tensions were extremely high. Immigration raids later became a nationwide campaign, with protest waves appearing in major cities. July. Israel continued bombing Gaza, destroying multiple residential areas and causing severe casualties, followed by intensified blockades. Humanitarian aid into Gaza was heavily restricted, leading to severe famine. About 500,000 people fell into catastrophic hunger, and 165 children died from malnutrition. August. Trump and Putin held a US-Russia summit in Alaska to discuss ending the Russia-Ukraine war, but no concrete agreement was reached. Trump later received Ukrainian President Zelensky and several European leaders at the White House, proposing that multiple European countries share responsibility for Ukraine's security guarantees and planning trilateral talks among the United States, Russia, and Ukraine. September. Charlie Kirk, regarded as a staunch ally of Trump, was assassinated by a long-range gunman while speaking at Utah Valley University in front of 3,000 audience members. The assassination shocked American society and fueled deep concern about the normalization of political violence. October. With Trump's mediation among multiple parties, Israel and Hamas reached a multi-stage ceasefire agreement, currently in the first phase of comprehensive ceasefire, release of hostages, and prisoner exchange. The United Nations subsequently authorized the deployment of an international stabilization force to Gaza and launched a technocratic post-war reconstruction plan. However, whether Hamas will fully disarm remains the greatest uncertainty. The situation has eased, but remains fragile. November. A catastrophic 5-alarm fire broke out at Hong Fook Court in Tai Po, Hong Kong, the deadliest such fire in history. Bamboo scaffolding and nylon mesh used for exterior wall maintenance created a strong chimney effect, rapidly engulfing multiple buildings and burning for 43.5 hours. A total of 161 people were killed and 79 injured, leaving thousands homeless. Subsequent investigations found suspected construction fraud and government oversight failures, and the contractor in charge has been arrested. December. A shocking father and son terrorist attack occurred at Bondi Beach in Australia, where gunfire targeted people celebrating Hanukkah, killing 16. The surviving son suspect has been charged with murder and terrorism offenses, and the Australian government immediately tightened gun laws and strengthened counter-terrorism security. Finally, let us all wave goodbye to 2025 together. and may everyone have an even better 2026.